Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday Show with your hosts Ken Tizzard and Music for Goats. Brought to you in full color and stereo sound amplification provided by Trainer. Broadcasting into the world from Storyhouse Studios in Campbellford, Ontario, you'll hear the best of old country, folk, Americana, punk rock, and 80s music delivered into your homes every week for free. And don't forget your regular dose of new and original songs from Music for Goats. Never be alone on a Wednesday night again, 8 p.m. Eastern and 9:30 for those of you in Newfoundland. Join the Whiskey Wednesday regulars on Facebook to be a part of the conversation, or watch on YouTube as well. Pour a drink, a cup of tea, or a nice cold long tooth. Roll up your best smoke and sit back and relax.
Just noticed it says whiskey.
Don't forget to hit the share button to help spread the word. The Whiskey Wednesday Show, every week. Cheers.
There's always mistakes. There's always so many mistakes in this stuff, you know, whiskey. I was waiting for somebody to see the whiskey mistake in the intro. It's been running for like a year.
I know, I just noticed it. I don't pay much attention, obviously.
Yeah, no, well, that's your first time you've watched it, I think, in my recollection. But welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday Show, ladies and gentlemen. It's Wednesday. It's really quiet in here. I don't know what's going on. Feels really quiet, eh?
Yeah.
What's happening?
I don't know, my ears are ringing.
Yours are ringing? Okay, good. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for coming out to spend some time with us and, you know, not be alone as it would be on a Wednesday night, although the world is open now. It's an open place to, you know, go out while you can, because, you know, there's lockdowns happen once. You never know what might happen again in the future. So enjoy it while you can. That's what I say about the weather anyways. Lockdowns be damned. The weather is beautiful outside. It's cool up here.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful, and we need some rain, though.
Well, it's kind of cool, courtesy of all the smoke from the forest fires.
We did, yeah. There's a lot of forest fires going on. I hope nobody out there is, well, people out there are put out by the fires, as it would be. But yeah, there's a lot of burning, a lot of fires happening, you know. It's almost biblical in a way. I don't know enough about the Bible to start quoting anything, but, you know, it seems pretty...
I don't remember anything in the Bible about fires in Canada.
Seems to be a little fire and brimstone, you know.
Yes.
Brimstone,
Yes.
the ash.
Yes.
That's right. Was
Sulfur.
it the ash? No,
Sulfur.
sulfur.
Sulfur. Yes.
I was wondering what the brimstone was earlier today. You know, these things come up in conversation sometimes. Looking forward to coming back home to Newfoundland in a couple weeks. Oh my God, see some friends. They've been having a great summer there. I was talking to some people yesterday. It was 3 degrees. And they were saying it was a balmy 3 degrees.
It's not summer there anyway. Not yet.
Well, not yet. It'll be summer when we get there.
Exactly.
But I'm really excited. We've got, I'm coming down to do Iceberg Alley with the Watchman, which is going to be a blast. We always have a hell of a lot of fun. And I'm flying in a day early, as I always do, and that puts me in Newfoundland on a Wednesday. So I'm really excited to work with Music NL to put off a live broadcast of Whiskey Wednesday from Gower Street United Church. So Newfoundlanders, Iceberg Alley with the Watchman, and come out and... we'll see you in Newfoundland as well down at Gower Street. I'll get some info on that for you later on. Speaking of Newfoundland, let's play a song about the harbor. A little song called Home. I hope everybody's doing good out there tonight. We're drinking more of that barn burner. Thanks to Mr. Grant for remembering just before the show started that it was essential to get some barn burner into us. So we've got that.
Read into that what you mean. Where's my whiskey?
This song goes out to Clark, as it does every time I play it. I'm not sure why. Well, I guess he was with me when the inspiration hit.
Yeah.
Clark Hancock, good friend. The city harbor lies behind the chain link fence. You can see it from a distance. You can even feel the wind. But you can't walk out on that dock and stand beside the sea-torn freighters. Sense those stories of the lives that live within. You can't have the way it was, have to take it as it is. Those times have changed, those days are gone. Those days are past but not forgotten. You can't stop the winds of change, forever in your mind, self-same. Oh, don't be sad. We were blessed for what we had. Those days are gone. The memories cast in stone, and I know I'm not alone, and it chills me to the bone in this place called home. You can't lose what you don't own. The deepest ties you'll ever know, right here at home. Down Water Street, the storefronts changed a few blocks north. Who'd ever blame to fight against this hurt and change and waiting game? How many words can twist and burn like spark to hay? No further down, no further down this certain old time road we'll stray. Have to take it as it is. Those times will change, those days are gone. Those days are past but not forgot. You can't stop the winds of change, forever in your mind, self-same. Oh, don't be sad. We were blessed for what we had. Those days are gone, the memories cast in stone, and I know I'm not alone, and it chills me to the bone in this place called home. You can't lose what you don't own. The deepest ties you'll ever know. Hurts so bad to let you go, and I thought that I just came to say hello to this place called home. The city harbor lies behind the chain link fence. You can see it from a distance, you can even feel the wind. Oh, a little home for Clarky there. And I'm just going to check my tuning there.
Yeah, same here. I know mine went.
Something was a little bit on the weird side there. Sorry about that, folks. Sometimes the air conditioner just kicks in and throws things out. But it is nice to have air conditioning. So looking forward to coming back home to Newfoundland. Today on the show, we've got Cam Carpenter for part 2 of his interview, which is actually part 3, because it was 2 parts last week. I think I went through this number problem last week, didn't I? Did we come up with a solution for what a
system?
For what a 4-part, like, is there's a trilogy, and then there's the prequel, the sequel, the real show, then there's the trilogy, and then there's the quadrilogy? Episode 2, part 1. Barry's got the lingo down. Excellent. We're learning all kinds of things here today, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to do a song for Aunt Betty here now. I'll check the board in a minute to see who's watching and say hi to y'all. In part 2 of Cam's interview, we do an interesting thing where we go through the 4 decades plus that he spoke about last week in his history, and we asked sort of the same question about different parts of the basically breaking those 40 years into 3 sections and getting his opinion on the good and bad from each of those things, which is really kind of cool. Great guy to speak to. Can't wait till he writes a book. Aunt Betty, this is for you, my love. I hope you can make it out to Gower Street Church. Judy and Patsy, get the whole gang out. I think that'd be fun. This is 30 for 60. And I don't have the 5 in my hand, not a last leg to stand upon. But what the hell, I'm going 30 for 60. Let the night swell, somebody fix me a single malt whiskey. And I don't have the jack or the ace, but I've got on my good poker face, and I'm holding my queen, feeling to 60, feeling hungry and lean. Life's about chances, and the king's in the kitty. 30 for 60. You can take this to heart, you can gamble your soul. 65 now, and I'm still in a hole. Life's just a game, it's a grand piece of fun. There's little left I can go on, and I don't have the 5 in my hand, but I've got on my good poker face, and I'm holding my queen. I'm going 30 for 60, feeling hungry and lean. Life's about chances, and the king's in the kitty. I don't have the 5 in my hand, but I recall my old man used to say, what the hell, I'm going 30 for 60, let the night swell. Somebody fix me, sing them all to whiskey. 30 for 60, 30 for 60, 30 for 60, 30 for 60. Little Ron Hines for you, talking about going back home. Do we have a poster for that Whiskey Wednesday in Newfoundland show there? I think we might, eh? Yeah, this has got some of the artists on it as well. Jing Zia, Sean Panting, and Evelyn Jess. Sean's an old friend of mine. Evelyn and Ying are new to me, and I must get the clarification on exactly how you pronounce Ying's name. I hope I'm not making a mockery of it. It's not my intention. And Evelyn is somebody new to me as well. But Gower Street United, with Music NL as the guest for the night, we're going to talk about Music NL, what they do as an organization, how they help artists, how they help musicians, how they help the community, why it's important to be a member, and what kind of stuff you can get out of it. It's a free show. You can come down to the church, watch it live at the church, Gower Street United Church. Doors are at 7:30. The show starts at 8 o'clock. Prompt Newfoundland time. There you go, Whiskey Wednesday regulars. It's going to start at 6:30 here in Toronto. 6:30 in Toronto, because we're doing it 8 o'clock Newfoundland. But I'm also going to do a rebroadcast through the software, so that as soon as it's done in Newfoundland, it'll rebroadcast for the 8 o'clock viewers. So anyways, come see it live if you're in Newfoundland. Don't forget to tune in and meet those amazing artists and have a little bit of a Newfoundland experience on a Whiskey Wednesday. Before I get chatting too much, we're going to get right into part 3 of the episode 2, version 1 interview of Cam Carpenter, part B. Barry, do your magic, my friend. Here's Cam. Okay, so I have the same sort of question asked 3 ways. Between 70, and I'm going to sort of group the years into 3 sort of parts, 70 to 80. Was the year of collecting 45s. You know, if you had music in town, you were probably the only one who had the music. You know, it was very special. It was very tactile. You would hear rumors and myths about bands coming to town, but you'd never see any photographic evidence or actually hear from anybody who was at the scene where it happened. Everything was just covered in wonder and mystique.
Yes.
What was your favorite thing about then that's no longer around?
I think the mystique, as you said, like you didn't know anything. Like artists weren't approachable. You didn't know anything. You didn't know what Kiss looked like without the makeup. Like you read Cream and Hip Parader and those magazines. You would, you know, Aerosmith was coming to Massey Hall. You would line up in front of whatever record store, conceivably overnight, for the ticket booth to open at 9 a.m. and they would hand you a pair of tickets that had the artist's name on it. They were physical. And then you would go to the show and you would go early, or there might be the rarest of autograph sessions at a record store, so you could walk in and, oh my God, there's Frank Zappa at the back of Record on Wheels.
Yeah.
But there was a mystique and a mystery, and there was, like, you know, making mixtapes and turning your friends on with your Maxell 90s and those, you know, it would take 4.5 hours to make a perfect mixtape.
Oh yeah.
because you'd be on the last song, you'd have the New York Dolls from Too Much Too Soon, and it would click with 12 seconds left. It's like, God damn it, I got to pick the song that's 12 seconds shorter, because I was a perfectionist about that stuff.
I know.
So that's what I loved about that era, and seeing a band like Kiss open for the New York Dolls when Kiss didn't even have their first record out at Massey Hall. It's just like, what the hell have I just seen?
Kiss at Massey Hall in the early days.
Opening for the Dolls. One of the few support shows. They did about 15 support shows at the beginning of their career when they started to travel internationally, and that was one of them.
Wow.
And the smell of smoke and weed, and everyone smoked in their seats, and no one had cameras, no one held up a phone.
No.
You were just totally, but they did, for the most part, they didn't have merch back then. They might have a tour program. That was it.
Tour programs were more popular than t-shirts, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah. There was, and I hear what you're saying, and a lot of it seems to be tied around the physical, tactile sensation of holding an album, lining up with your friends overnight. I remember doing that to go see shows and to buy tickets, lining up with your friends, lining up the night before the concert at, sort of 9 o'clock at night for a concert that was the next day. Doors weren't till 7.
Yeah.
You'd line up for 12 hours with your friends. You'd bring your sleeping bags.
You'd hang out at the backstage door for an hour and a half after the show. Hopefully they'd come out the side door at Massey Hall.
Exactly.
And scream.
And there was all those things that had to do with the physical being there and the tactileness of it. And that's a huge thing that I find missing in these days things. Even concert tickets, it's now just sent to your phone.
Yeah, I hate that.
I don't like it either. I understand the convenience, but I don't like it. I love concert stubs, but again, I guess it's a cost saving thing. So
it helped with scalping when they were physical tickets.
Oh God, yeah. I remember when I went to Russia, and I think it was 1991, and we were in Red Square, and the tickets were going on sale for the Bolshoi, the big dance thing, and I was with the translator. I said, "So where do they sell the tickets? Are they around here?" And he said, "Oh no," he said, "there's no box office. Like the box office sold out at 10 o'clock." I said, well, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, at 10 o'clock, the tickets go on sale, but they're actually already gone to the underground, and that's what they get sold through." And I remember thinking, that's so wrong. How can that be? How do they get away with this? This is so wrong. They're taking tickets before they're sold and then jacking the prices up and reselling them.
Yeah.
And here we are now 30 years later, and it is the norm.
Yeah.
I don't quite know what's happened there, but okay, so maybe that'll come in part of the other thing. In between the 70s and 80s and that time, what was the hardest thing about the music business, or the thing you disliked the most?
I wasn't really like in the 70s and 80s. It was just exciting to be part of it at the late 70s. So, I guess the price of records when they were $4.99, it's like, come on, these used to be $3.99. There was that, and concert tickets went from $5 to $10 and stuff like that. But it was a magical time to be just a fan of music back then. So aside from the general cost of inflation, which is normal, you really enjoyed that time in music. Oh, for sure. And some of my favorite artists from all time are from that era as well, because they say, I don't know if this, it's hard to say if this still stands up now because of the way of delivery of music and kids consuming music a lot younger. But they say the records when you were 13, 14 years old that influenced you stick to you for the rest of your life. And for me, that was Alice Cooper, Mott the Hoople, Queen, New York Dolls, Yes, ELP, like Deep Purple. That's what I was listening to back then. And I still go back. I listened to the new Yes album the other night. So
those formative years and those years of, between sort of 12 and 17, where there's a whole lot of firsts and broken hearts and puberty and chemicals in your body, whatever the soundtrack I had then is still what's with me today. I mean, I think every generation will feel that,
that's a certain song will take you back immediately to a certain night or whatever.
And those times, let's face it, looking back, they were the best times of our lives. As everybody says, you don't realize it, but it's so good. Okay, so now let's jump into the 80s and 90s. This is a time where like sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and being a dirtbag in rock and roll was really cool. That was, the sort of the leather, the studs, the long hair, and the total misogyny. Um, that was sort of in the rock and roll world. There was, of course, other music happening.
Yeah.
But same question, during the 80s and 90s, what was your highlight, and what did you enjoy the most of that period of time?
I love the hair metal scene. I totally loved it. I spent a lot of time at Rock and Roll Heaven back in the day with my cowboy boots and my toe caps and my scarves, and
Oh yeah.
what little hair I had wasn't too teased, but just hanging out with Baz and all those people. Like Rock and Roll Heaven was amazing. I had so much fun there. I love that whole scene. And a band, they were a hair metal band, I guess, but I still talk to all the time and I'm still friends with. It's like a band like Slaughter. They became, Dana Strum and Mark Slaughter are friends for life. And every time they come to Toronto, whether Mark's on the road with Slaughter or Dana's on the road with Motley Crue because they play in Vince's band, we always hang out, and just great memories of that. But at that point, I was becoming a suit at a record company too, which I kind of hated because I was always the teenager at the record company, and all of a sudden you're a director of marketing and you're a suit. So I kind of hated being a suit.
Yeah, and especially in the rock and roll heaven scene, it didn't really fit in there.
Yeah, although my Amex card worked very well there when I was buying cocktails for everyone.
I'm sure nobody complained about that.
No, I remember one night, Steve Earle, his wife Teresa Ensnat was A&R. His wife I think Teresa was number 3. She was A&R at Geffen, and I love Teresa. And it's like, I was talking to Steve one day. It's like, Cam, there's a band called Junkyard. They're coming to Rock and Roll Heaven. You're gonna go hang out with them. It's like, yes, sir. I shall. So I walked into the wrong dressing room because there was this band called the Black Crowes opening, who were about to sign to Geffen, and we were about to sign Geffen as well, but Warner's had to deal with them that we didn't get the record. And ended up hanging out with them all night and buying them drinks. Once again, the Amex card worked really well. And I ran into Rich like 14 years later at Sunset Marquee in LA. It's like, I remember you, Cam. You were buying us drinks on the first tour. And it was so cool. It was just like, oh my God, he remembers. So
That's amazing.
that was a fun time too. I've always had fun. I'm still having fun.
That's great. That's great. Was there anything from that period of time that you found to be tiresome, or that was, let's bring it right to 2000, like, which was just where Napster was starting to happen. The labels were starting to get really scared because they didn't quite know what it was and they wanted to box everything down. Things like songsmiths and stuff were becoming really popular to send to new bands that were getting signed. Oh, let's send them over with this song doctor for a while, or this person to really tighten up the records. What were some of the changes that happened during that period of time that what kind of changes happened in the industry with the digital change that you thought were positive, and what are some of the negative things?
Well, the positive and negative together was like the era of the CD. Like I remember sitting in the boardroom one day when they brought in this Philips CD player and they showed it to us. It's like, okay, this is cool. The sound's great. But then the greed that the record companies got, reissuing everything on CD and charging twice as much and still charging artists for the packaging, which was a fourth of the packaging that an album was. And it was good and bad. Like people were rebuying their record collections and record companies were making a ton of money. But all of a sudden it's gone. The digital audio cassette. I had a digital audio cassette player. I had a DatMan.
Yep.
The technology was ever changing, but hardly anything stuck. And from that era, nothing stuck because Napster, the one that everyone was ignoring, changed everything.
It sure did. I mean, the digitizing of music, which happened before the idea of the internet, nobody saw that coming.
No.
If we make it a digital medium, we can put it on this format and also change the format every 10 years, come up with a new mastering for CD that'll make people buy it again and again. And there was a massive thing in the industry to resell, which was great because they were making a lot of money, and that some of that did get funneled back into the artist. And there was a great period, in the 80s and into the 90s, where there was so much money being made that, artists were being signed and given budgets, which was fantastic. But then come 2000, we hit a crush. That was where everybody realized that music can be free. Yes, music can be free. Music should be free. I mean, music is a universal language. Musicians should be paid somehow. I still like the idea, you know, I was talking about the Booth Street Records thing where you gotta buy shirts from China and you use the shirts to show how much you are grateful for the music. It's sort of, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress, but yeah, well, we're thinking about that. That went right over Mr. Grant's head. I want to thank.
I got the T-shirt though, man.
What's that?
I
You got the T-shirt? Oh, the Booth Street Records T-shirt. Yeah, see, there you go. This weekend, we got a bunch of stuff happening. We're going to the drag show over at Dockside Bistro.
Yeah.
That'll be fun on Friday night. And then Saturday is the 1-year anniversary of Spirit Leaf. And again, thanks, Eric, for sending over a little lemon, organic super lemon haze for tonight's show. That's been greatly appreciated. Oh, look, that actually gets you a little flyer on the screen there. Send weed, I'll post a picture for you. No, but it is their 1-year anniversary, and they're a great shop set up here. They moved into town. They're locals. They're real nice people, and who is it? It looks like they've got food, desserts, as well as beverages. I wonder. That's interesting. Food, beverages, desserts, kind of all seems the same. It's a pop thing though, right? Munchies. Sorry, I got it now, right. Games and prizes, live music. I'm not sure who's playing. Performers, I don't know what. They might have some fire-breathing people or some dancers, I don't know. And then DJs. Okay, so this brings me to a new topic. Again, thanks, Eric, for the weed and all the kindness that you bring to the community. So I mentioned a few times we've got this dude named Dave Lawrence who's been hanging out on Wednesday nights. Dave is also okay. So here's the story. When Steve was sick originally, during the first part of the year, we had used Liam Archer to sub in for a bunch of shows, and then when Steve was going through his second sort of surgery and stuff before Christmas, there was a few shows that were happening that Liam couldn't make it to. So I was trying to find another sub, and I'm talking to Jeremy Berger down at Trainer, a friend of mine, and I'm telling Jeremy, you know, what's going on with Steve, and you know, it'd be great to have another sub, somebody closer. And he says to me, he says, our old drum guy retired from down here, and I think he moved up somewhere that way. I have no idea, but he's gone somewhere. And I said, well, give me his number. And I tucked the number away, and then Steve was getting better, and we went down to Newfoundland. We did all that stuff, as you're all aware of. And when Steve had gotten sick again, because we had some stuff planned, I reached out to Liam, and there was some shows he could do and some he couldn't. So at that point, I thought, oh, there's that guy that Jeremy recommended. I'm going to just sort of reach out. So I call this guy, Dave Lawrence, and I get him on the phone, and we're talking for a few minutes, and you know, I'm wondering, you know, where is he, down in Bowmanville or Port Hope or whatever. I said, so whereabouts are you living? And he says, oh, I'm in Campbellford, and that's where I am. And I was just like, oh, isn't that fucking weird? And they says, yeah, I'm on a street called Booth Street, which is the street that I live on. So Dave is actually a neighbor. So he's been hanging out, and we've been getting to know him, and he's been learning some of the tunes, and we figure it's high time to get him in for a couple tunes tonight, so he's going to sit in for the rest of the night with us here. And he's also, Dave, can we get a camera over there, show the Mr. Grant and Dave camera? Look at that, that's another angle of the room you've never seen. Mr. Grant, point to David there so people know who we're talking about. There we go. Dave Lawrence is going to be playing drums with us tonight.
DJing.
And he's DJing on the weekend. So Dave is, like when I spoke to him originally, he said, well, I kind of come from a DJ, reggae, hip-hop sort of background. I don't know if hip-hop was in there. It was more sort of dancehall and reggae. And so he was sort of unfamiliar with the stylings that we play, but he's been learning the patterns and the beats, and but he's a reggae DJ, and he's DJing at the Spirit Leaf 1-year anniversary. So we're gonna go down and check that out on Saturday too. Followed by a little Mr. Grant and Janet Jeffrey over at Capers there on Saturday night.
Right on, yeah.
It's going to be a fun-filled weekend of doing things. I go to Toronto tomorrow for a Watchman show or Watchman rehearsal. They're driving Toronto traffic. Oh, I feel sweat coming on. Wow, just thinking about this is getting me like that. Okay, we better play some music. Here's a little song called This Town of Mine. We'll start it off with a little Red Prairie Dawn tune that we learned from Mr. Luke Mercier. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I heard that.
I know you did.
This town of mine, this town of mine, I find myself so easily reclined here in this town of mine. Came here from the city trying to find some peace of mind, to get myself on track and to buy myself some time. This town is growing on me. Here's a song for all to hear. All these places look familiar, but your names are so unclear. In this town of mine, in this town of mine, I find myself so easily reclined here in this town of mine. At times this town seems distant. At times you all seem so strange. All these places remind me of places that I've been. So deep the roots are growing through my kids and to my friends. All I think about is being here. It takes away the pain. In this town of mine, in this town of mine, I find myself so easily reclined here in this town of mine. At times this town's a mistress. She gives me all I need and more. Someday I'll say goodbye to her and walk right out the door. In this town of mine, in this town There you go. David's first song. How did that feel there for you, buddy? Yeah, cool. Everybody out there in the world, this is David. He lives on our streets, he plays drums, and he'll be around. Mark Lane, nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Yes, you're right. Also, Mr. Grant, M says hi.
Hey, Em, how you doing?
Hey, Em, how you doing? We've got the other newer people showing up here. Paste, there you go. Tony Arkell, I didn't say hi to you earlier. That's how you doing. And reggae folk, I know we were thinking about it. Everybody's saying welcome, Dave. Look at that. Welcome, Dave. Sorry, Ken, too late for me most nights. Hello, love to you all. Well, Betty, I hope you did catch your tune there, and I hope to see you in Newfoundland. You better see it. Zach Snow, lovely to see you, brother. Zach Snow is a DJ personality from back home in Newfoundland. Great guy. I hope your podcast is doing well. He just started a new podcast recently. Okay, folks, we're going to get back into another tune here, but before we do, the magazine is out. Barry, do you got a picture of the cover there by chance? This is the new Whiskey Wednesday magazine that was out last week. It is, I think this one comes in at 219 pages. Allison has gone into great detail with every word that gets spoken on the show, including definitions of words and things like that, because Neil and now Mr. Grant as well start to use a lot of words that nobody knows, and I use a lot of words that don't exist. So it's nice to know what has a definition and what is not. But anyways, there's some great feature on Romy and Tim, of course. And Tim's website is back up. I went there today. He has got so many prints and little things, including that Jerry Garcia thing. I think that one's only like $85. But he's got prints and stuff for $35.
So that's like $498.
That's true.
Canadian.
Yeah, that's a lot of money Canadian. But he's got all this stuff going on, and he's got tons of stuff for sale, tons of prints and copies, and some originals as well. So it's the rabbitrunstudios.com. Check that out in the store there. There's great stuff. And I'm looking forward to getting some shirts for him for the upcoming Watchmen shows. You know, I always need to get some new shirts for those shows because they get too sweaty. I can never wear them again, so it needs to happen.
It's bad enough being on the same aircraft with them on the way home.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, Allison worked really hard at the magazine. It is fantastic. It gets into all kinds of interesting stuff. We're going to get through to Cam in just a second. We're going to play one of the new songs that we've been working on. This one is for Tony and the guys. They actually requested that we start the show with it tonight, and I said maybe. No, I knew it wasn't going to happen because Dave was playing this one with us. But this is a song called Morrissey. This is going to be on the new album as part of the DAG sessions. You'll be able to get a recording of it soon. Noah Mintz just sent me back the master today for whatchamacallit.
Drunk, Stone, Broke?
No, that one's out already.
Oh, yeah.
Not Drunk, Stone, Broke. The master for $1 a day.
Oh, okay.
And it's cool. It sounds really cool. I like it a lot. So that's going to be out. I got the master today. I'll find out tomorrow when the next scheduled date is, but it'll be in about 5 weeks, I think. And I'm almost in tune here. What's going on tonight? It's weird with the tunings, eh?
Yeah.
I guess it's all the smoke. Oh, the government doesn't want us playing guitars.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. They're lighting forest fires to smoke our environment.
I think it's Amazon. They're trying to sell lots more guitar strings.
True. Hey folks, this is a new song called Morrissey, and it goes just like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. For once in my life, I'm feeling sorry for people around me who think I'd be better off dead, or at least being quiet. It didn't take much to get it started. Some simple words between two friends. But then again, a spark can burn your whole house down. My guardian angel has a voice like Morrissey. He's cruel and sublime and appropriately ill. You stopped making sense shortly thereafter. You wished you'd never open your mouth. You chose to hide behind a lie that someone else gave you. My guardian angel has a voice like Morrissey. He's cruel and sublime and appropriately ill. My guardian angel has a voice like Morrissey. He'll call you out and he'll make you his fool. Quite take the pressure. The pressure was more than I could take. So I filed it away. And I thought maybe I'll come back to this a little later. I heard your name through a friend today. He apologized for bringing you up. I said that's alright. I was over it before it even started. My guardian angel has a voice like Morrissey. He's cruel and sublime and appropriately ill. My guardian angel has a voice like Morrissey. He'll call you out and he'll make you his fool. Nicely done, David. Nicely done. Well job, boys, all around. Just noticed there's we're all on another feed. Oh yeah, a bunch of different Facebook pages. This is all going to. Welcome to the Whiskey Wednesday Club from Jillian, Dave. Jillian is Neil's daughter. Jason Wood, great sound. Tony, not a lot of deals about ticket. I did talk about Tony. I did talk about Take a Chance in a songwriting seminar I did once because it was one of the weirdest songs that I've ever done. Anyways, yeah, Steve. It's weird, Steve. Yeah, because I go to I broadcast to YouTube, and then it also goes to Twitch and a bunch of other shit. But on Facebook, it'll go to either my personal page or the Ken Tizzard music page. It also goes to the Whiskey Wednesday page and the Music for Goats page. So it's broadcasting to 4 different locations on Facebook. I try and direct everybody, for the sake of conversations, to all merge at the Facebook/Ken Tizzard music page. That's where I try and get people to, so they can all sort of follow the conversation. Apparently on YouTube you can see it all, but if you're not a YouTube user, that's that. Whole lot of talk there. Got your rig ready, sir. Oh, excellent, Roger. That's fantastic. I was actually, I got to reach out about that. I didn't know you were on the team, Roger. I should have known. Okay, I might have a question for you. I'll message you after. Where's Steve Runyons? I'm not sure there. But Steve is probably, it's Wednesday night. I don't know what he's doing. Strange that he's not here, but shout out to Steve Runyons. We miss you. I don't know what's happened to you. You've disappeared. Ladies and gentlemen, I've talked enough. Let's get into part 2 of the Cam Cameron interview, which is actually part 4 or part 3 of 2. Just press play, Barry. That's all good. And from 2000 to now, which is a period of 23 years, we're talking actually. Yeah. How have somebody who's been through, like you say, everything that you had the 20 years leading up to that, now you're in the next 20 years, and almost everything that you know and everything that you've helped contribute to, and also the infrastructure of the industry that you've been a part of fostering is now gone.
It's sad. And it makes me feel really old.
Yes. Okay. That's an obvious thing for feeling old at, once you pass 50, I think is especially if you're in the music business, you know,
Yeah.
it's a common thing. But the sadness I'm interested in, because we've just went through 20 years where I've asked you and asked you what you liked about it, and you've just talked about how happy you were and how happy you were. And then I mentioned digital, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is it's sad.
Well, it's just sad that they no longer care about people like me, and that they haven't for 20 years, and people who, it sounds, ugh. I was part of it all, so, but they got rid of people like me because we were making money and easily replaced with someone at a fifth of the salary. And just, hanging around the labels now is not even close to the same as it used to be. You just hop from desk to desk, there'd be an artist here, artist there, marketing would be sitting with promotion, and music would be blaring. Now everyone's in open spaces, and there's a few curated posters on the wall, and it just doesn't have the same vibe and feel.
So the business has changed. The financial structure of it has completely gone out the window.
With the exception of if you sign to a major, everything they do for you, you pay for as an artist. That's never changed. Everything's recoupable.
Everything is recoupable. And with the prices of things going the way they are now, and the way that, I don't know the facts on it, you would probably know better, but somebody was explaining to me how the Spotify payouts have gone to paying the master holders over the songwriters now.
Like I think 70% of the Spotify money goes to the labels and they distribute it. So it hasn't really changed.
Yeah.
The artist shouldn't be bitching at Spotify. They should be bitching at the labels.
That's the point I'm making. It's not the Spotify thing. I mean, it used to be that, songwriters got their songwriter share, and now it's all going to the mechanical, holder, which is the labels. And the way things are skewed towards the artist and towards the people working in the field it's very difficult terrain right now.
Yeah, the one thing that they're saving on though is videos, because back in the late 80s, early 90s, you could spend $250,000 on a Canadian video, let alone $4 million on a Guns N' Roses video.
Absolutely.
And that was money that artists weren't going to get back either, unless it was a promotional item, but it was recoupable. And if you got on Much Music, then you'd sell more records and you might end up with Big Shiny Tunes. You might ultimately make it back, but that's an expense that's gone, because you can make, you make great videos for next to nothing.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
And you remember Watchmen video budgets.
So. I remember we closed down City Hall and part of Bay Street for 2 days. Like,
right.
I remember when we went down, we actually sort of closed Bay Street for 2 blocks. This was one day, one of the 2 days we had. And there was no cars. We closed down downtown to make it look like a dystopian future. I mean, when we did the same thing in City Hall, we had it overnight. They let us in there for the entire night with 200 extras to do the stereo video.
With catering.
With catering, yeah, I know, and we fed everybody. It's just like, I remember looking back at some of the budgets and going, $6,000 for catering for a video. Nowadays, I mean, my recent video I made for the cost of a set of drapes, which I thought was 30, but my wife told me was 65. So $65, and that was it. That was
film.
That is one of the glories, and I do say that to artists these days, is that there's no complaining about having a lack of access to things anymore. Mm-hmm. Anything that all artists in the world used to have working for them is now available at your disposal. You just need to take the time to get to know how to use it and how to work it properly, or source out the people who can use it and do it for an affordable price. There's no reason to be spending that much money on videos anymore.
No, why spend $500 on getting someone to write a bio when you can basically put the facts in AI and then tinker with it and you got a new bio?
Yep, I did that as an experiment with the Chat GPT. I said, can you write a 250 word bio for Drunk, Stoned and Broke by Ken Tizzard and Music for Goats, the new single that came out? And then it appeared and I read it, and there was a few little things, but I basically rewrote that and used it. Yeah. I'm like, all the facts are there,
Yep.
It is, I love people like Carrie Dewell. I love these bio writers and stuff, and I think the importance of a good bio writer when you're doing a band bio is huge. But for all these little press releases and stuff now, there's amazing tools out there for everything.
Yeah, you still need someone like a Carrie Dewell, a Karen Bliss, Rob, what's his name, Rob at York University, who's been nominated for Grammys.
Hmm.
To write liner notes for like historical albums
Yeah.
and bigger pieces as well.
And these people are trained. You know, Carrie's has done the biography for like Crowded House and stuff like that. He's spent time with bands documenting their history, as has Karen Bliss. You know, these people are trained in that field that I don't even know if they really teach that in school anymore because journalism is so different. These are the last of a breed, I believe, and they're wonderful people to have at your disposal if you're looking to get this stuff done. You know,
Yeah, I've done liner notes for the History of Ready records, for Spoons and bands I worked with back then, and done the 4,000 word liner notes, which are fun to do.
Oh yeah,
A lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun. And what an honor to be able to write a liner note for an album for somebody. Like,
Yeah, it's
that's
cool.
huge.
I used to love seeing my name on an album. That was like, I'm never going to be a musician, but when especially when it wasn't an artist you worked with necessarily, but they threw a credit at you. I remember like Snow thanking me because we were hanging out. It's like, wow, Snow thanked me on his album. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, that is nice. I remember when Phantom Power came out, the Tragically Hip record. I remember opening it and I was listening to it, and I had no expectation. And then, like, sort of in the list of thank yous, all of a sudden there was thanks to Ken Tizzard from the Watchmen for his help with. And I went, oh shit, that's right. I went down to Kingston for a day and helped one of them out with a loop they were working on, and sort of got a thank you on the album. That always feels really special. It really does.
But that's something that's gone now too. Picking up a piece of vinyl and reading the liner notes, reading who the producer was, who the engineer was.
It was part of the experience.
The songwriters, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an amazing part of the experience.
And you used to buy records like I did. You'd go into a record store. It's like the first Ultravox album. I looked at that cover and went, what is that? Look at those shoes. I'm buying this record.
Yeah.
Or Bebop Deluxe, whatever.
I bought several records because of the artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always a big, big thing. And the liner notes, the gatefolds, all that stuff. I just love it. I mean, there is still a good vinyl community now, and you can still experience it. But, gatefold albums you're paying $70 for, and regular albums you're paying $48 for. So
that's obscene.
I don't even know anymore. I'm so out of touch. Every time I go out the door and go to, whether it's to go to buy an ice cream or a record or whatever, I'm shocked at how much it costs. But I think that we're all in that boat. So as a wrap up, here we go. Me and you are hitting that sort of middle age, looking forward to the sort of the golden years or whatever the hell they want to call it. What do you see for the future of music? Like now we're talking about AI music, where you just kind of say, I feel like this mood. Can you play me a song that sounds like, and list 10 artists? And I want the lyrics to, reflect my mood, which is this. And then a piece of music appears.
I don't think there'd be any emotional attachment for me. There might be for the new generation growing up, if that's the only thing they know when they're, 9 years old, and that's what they start listening to. But for me, if I need a lyric and a mood, I know what artist I'm going to go to, because it's embedded in my DNA.
I guess that leads to the question of, do you think it's possible just for a human, no matter, like the newer generation that's coming up, yes, they have a different way of experiencing than us completely. But don't you think that there is an emotional something in music that has to come through? Like, even if you take some of our favorite electronic artists who are, using all synthesizers, but there's still a voice. It's the voice that I still get dragged into. It's the personality. It's the character.
Yeah.
Do you think that AI has the ability to capture that?
Not yet.
Not yet. Do you think it will?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I might not be around to hear it.
I think you're right, actually. And I'm the same too. I don't know if I'm going to see it, but yeah, it definitely, yeah. It's very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
What are you excited about in music nowadays? What do you think is a really winning thing in music? The formats, like let's look at formats, radio, video, conferences, all of these things. What is actually winning?
I think Spotify's winning. It does great things for me when I do a thing on Twitter every day, my start to finish album, and I usually listen to it on Spotify. And it could be old artists, something new, but the algorithms in Spotify, because I listen to it so much, when I click on a band, it'll show me a bunch of other bands, and I might click on them and then go down another set of stairs and find another band. So the discovery of new music is so easy now, especially with Spotify and Apple to a certain degree as well. I listen to a lot more Spotify. So that's exciting. And I'm finding new bands every day.
Excellent.
Videos, I don't watch for the most part. I don't go on YouTube. I've never have, even, at the height of Much Music and MTV, I always found that a video could destroy a song for me. I would have a thought of what that song was about or what it looked like. And once I saw the video, it's just like, oh, that's brutal. And that would stick with you forever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'm not from the video generation. Conferences, I'm really looking forward to coming up North by and CMW, where North by will be a lot of bar hopping. Because it's mostly back to the old indie week days in a lot of ways, where there's just great bands up and down the street. Where CMW, I'll probably plant myself at the lobby bar at the Westin like I did 40 years ago at the first CMW, and see friends from around the world. So that's always exciting. And I'll go out and see bands at night and stuff. But I'm really looking forward just to connecting with old friends at CMW this year. So
very cool. One last question. Who's your newest favorite band? And this isn't necessarily a band you're working. This is sort of something what's the most recent record that you've got in your collection or CD that you kind of keep going, I can't believe I found this. This is so good.
Oh boy, that's so hard, because I do a playlist every week of 25 songs I need to listen to with all new bands. So there's a great band called Lobster Bomb I really like.
Lobster Bomb.
Lobster Bomb, yeah.
Okay.
That just immediately comes to mind. So.
Well, then that's the answer right there. I'll have to look up some Lobster Bomb. And
it's been a new single out 2 days ago. So.
Is that BALM or BOMB?
Bomb.
First thing was like a lobster bomb that you rub on your arms or something.
No. And I guess we should if I can take a second to self-promote too.
Absolutely.
Artists I'm working with Ken Tizzard and Music for Goats on their new single. We have to have full disclosure here, Ken.
True enough.
Having a lot of fun working that new record. We're getting some great response. We're getting some good playlists.
Absolutely.
Off to a good start to set up the DAG sessions, which will be coming out later this year. Mobius Radio is a new project I'm working with Dylan Hennessy and Alex Van Bigel. That's his drummer. It's 2-piece. He's a guitar looper. It's kind of prog. It's kind of crazy. He does this kind of guitar playing.
Oh, yeah.
He's a brilliant local kid. He's out busking across Quebec right now. He just picks up his guitar and plays. And it's a concept album that's coming out. The single just came out last week with Jeff Woods, Jeff Woods from Q17, Radio and Rock Stars, narrates the whole thing. And it's a huge story. So helping Dylan and Mobius Radio out right now. Very cool. James Clark, who I've been working with for years, the wonderful James Clark, who's been on your show.
Yes, James was an excellent guest. Fantastic band too.
He's in the studio right now with Mo Berg working on his new record, and then off to Liverpool to play the Pop Explosion over there.
Oh, wonderful. Which
is great, yeah. Shorts and Not Pants we talked about. Yep. Helping out my friend Simon Head, a filmmaker with Subversives, The History of Lowest of the Low, which is a film that's doing the film circuit right now, and we'll have a Toronto screening in September. So I'm looking forward to that. And Simon's also doing a 1-hour film on the making of Shakespeare My Butt as it hits its anniversary. I think it's 30 years since Shakespeare My Butt. So there's going to be 2 Lowest of the Low films.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And what else? Prison Prize I mentioned, James Clark. Oh, the Awesome Music Project.
The AMP, yes.
Yes, I've been helping out with them. They've got a big event coming up on June 21st at Massey Hall, the Alma Combo.
Okay.
With our friend Danny Michelle and Fifi Dobson, Tyler Shaw, Nicola. AMP is how music affects your life, how it can change it for the better. If you're depressed, put on a song, make a playlist, put on the radio when you're at mom's house, and put on Benny Goodman and make her feel happy. And it's science and stories and songs. Mm-hmm. So there'll be a big show at the Elmo where someone will talk about a song that changed their life or inspired them or stopped them from committing suicide or whatever. Then the artist will perform that song. And it's a really interesting charity. And we mentioned Corey Ferguson earlier with an MCA, and she's the executive director.
Yes.
So they do amazing work. So well,
Yeah, she's doing great work. We did an AMP night here on the show, and I was on their podcast a year or so ago as well. Real great bunch of folks. Corey has been a good friend of mine for a long time, and we actually tried really hard to get for the benefit they had at the Berkeley Church there
yeah, a
last
couple of
month.
weeks ago. Yeah.
Sure, last week we tried really hard to get Rick Mercer talking about "Raise a Little Hell," his favorite Trooper song, and
Yeah.
then the Watchmen were going to play it, but we couldn't get all the pieces together. But it was really exciting to try and get that one to work out. So,
Yeah, it was a magic night with Misha Berger-Gossman, Sky Wallace, Tom Wilson.
mhm,
It was the night after Gordon Lightfoot passed.
right.
And Tom had written a poem, Raybon Gordon Lightfoot. So I got goosebumps talking about it. Tom just read this thing straight from the heart. Then him and his son performed, which is just, I love Tom, just magical.
Yeah. Oh, Tom's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, the AMP is a great project to be involved with as well.
And you can go to their Spotify as well. And there's some playlists there that we've put together of friends of AMP and people who've been on the show. And they have a great book, which is the Awesome Media Project book, which has Rick Mercer talking about Trooper and things like that. And
Yeah.
great organization.
It's a really neat thing. Yeah, I did talk to Corey about contributing a piece for the next book as well. It seemed to have slipped under my radar until I'm just talking about it to you now. So
There you go.
I'll have to get back in touch with Corey about that one.
Yeah.
That's the way life sometimes goes. Well, Cam, it's been fantastic. Have we covered everything?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's been so nice having you on the show. I'm sure people have enjoyed it. What's the next big concert that you're going to see? Or do you even know? You go to so many concerts, it's sort of.
The next, I don't know, I'm going to see Sparks again. I saw them in 74 for the first time. They played last year after about 35 years. These guys are both in their 70s. An amazing band, 27
Wow.
albums, documentary. They're playing Danforth Music Hall in a couple of weeks, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'll probably see 50 bands, over the course of CMW and North by Northeast. And hopefully I'll walk into a bar, not knowing a band at 2 a.m. at the Bovine and go, oh my God, and have that oh my God moment that we all live
Exactly.
for. Yeah.
That's kind of the drug we keep looking for.
Yes, because drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Music, Cam Carpenter, thanks for being on the show, brother. I really appreciate it.
I can't believe you've had me as a guest, Ken. It's been an honor.
It's been great.
Thank you.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in to the Whiskey Wednesday show. Every Wednesday we will be here, rain or shine, richer or poorer. Tip jar is in the link above. Never expected but always appreciated. Never confuse the size of your paycheck with the size of your talent. I've got all the money I'll ever need if I die by midnight. Always appreciated, never expected. Please feel free to drop us a line regarding anything, including a link to your money. Cheers.
I think. Did I push the button right?
You did.
I know, I can see that. I'm just thinking I'm live typing. This is so interesting. Like, who'd have thought, I remember when I was in junior high in Newfoundland, we had to do typing class. Like, that was you couldn't get out of grade 9 unless you had passed your typing. And I learned how to type a little bit. It's amazing how fast people are now at typing.
Yeah.
Like, they're faster than we used to be when they taught it to us in school. Thinking maybe if they don't teach us a lot of things in school, we'll be better at other things as well.
Ah, well, you'll have to ask Allison, the educator, about that, I think.
She's got her mind made up on that one, being a teacher.
Surprised to hear that.
Yeah, I'm looking for support from a different area on this one.
I remember taking typing in grade 9.
They had typewriters?
Yes, they did.
No,
it was quite
that wasn't-
amazing. Yeah, they were coal-fired.
Oh, when you were in
mind
university?
Yeah, no, grade 9.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, what, 7 years old, I guess, something
Right,
like
okay.
that. Yeah, but yeah, and you had to type at a given pace. So they had music that they played, right?
Yeah.
And I can still remember it was like dee deedle 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 dee dee
What song is that?
dee
What song is that you're singing?
I can't remember. Anyway,
Dee dee
that's
dee.
that's the song that they.
And you
that
type
they
to the
used.
song?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting typing to some some Slayer.
It would have been. Yeah, it would have been far more fun. That's right. That's right. It would have.
A little bit of hardcore
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
Cam Carpenter, what an amazing guest, and so cool that I've had Cam in my life for so long. You know, I met him when I was working at the magazine, but also he worked with the Watchmen. But I knew him before then too, just from the Queen Street circuit, and he's been a really cool guy to have in my life, and actually chatting with him like that is really interesting, because, you know, you get into sort of an arc of a life story that, you know, you had a different, you know, I was with Cam for certain parts, so like I know a different story than the, you know, the 40-minute version that we just got there. But anyways, it's really cool. Great guy, amazing supporter of music, just a pioneer who's been through it all, and it's wonderful to talk to him and follow him on Instagram and all that stuff. Cam Carpenter. Oh. This is a song called Over You. How you feeling, Dave? You want to play another song with us?
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay. This is a song called Over You. This one will be on the new record. I've recorded it with these vocals, and I keep going back to it and circling it, and we'll see what happens by the time it makes it out to the world of, you know, 38 listeners. Just kidding. I'm up to
We
74.
got two more?
I'm up to 74.
Wonderful.
I, not we. But I should be saying we. I know you keep lecturing me on that one, Neil.
I don't lecture you. I just glance at you disapprovingly.
1, 2, 3. You broke my heart. You've been untrue. I can't bear to spend another minute with you. Cold-hearted girl, you ruined my life. Now I'm moving on. I won't stay to fight. I'm gonna pack my bags, take all that I can, get far away from you and your new old man. Well, I can't say when. Someday soon you'll see I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. For years I've tried to please. You had me on the go. You had me on my knees. For years I've tried to do you right. All those toothless words sure rang true tonight. Well, I'm moving on. I'm leaving you behind. I can't say that I'm happy. You treated me so unkind. I can't say when. Someday soon you'll see I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. All the friends that I had, things that I loved to do, you crushed all my Someday soon you'll see I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. I'll be over you as soon as she gets under me. You standing there, buddy? Yeah, you're having a walk around, are you? Stanley decided to wake up. I know, it's such a rarity on the Whiskey Wednesday show that you wake up. Yeah, okay. Go back to sleep. We got one more song. I think I covered everything. Oh, I want to show you this. So last month we printed off the Whiskey Wednesday magazine. We're seeing, okay, like let's see if we can make a cost-effective way to get this to people. It turns out that a little booklet like this is like way too much money, and also then when we printed it, like print is really really tiny. So you need kind of a magnifying glass to read it. But what an interesting read. So this month we printed it on full size just to check it out. But Mr. Grant's borrowed it, so I can't show you. But again, the Whiskey Wednesday magazine is out. You can get it for free on the website as a PDF, or you can look at it online. You can print your own copy or read it. It is fun. And we have a lot of fun with what we do here. So, we like to extend the fun into PDF form. Don't you agree, Mr. Grant? That's what it stands for, PDF.
Pretty damn fun, or something like that.
Printable document fun.
Okay.
Having fun with your printable documents. PDF. It's a brand new thing. It's just like my my thing to buy albums using shirts from China. Booth Street Records. It's our. The banks wouldn't give us a loan based on that. They said that they thought it was irresponsible. I don't quite understand that. Do we just one in C sharp? Last song of the night. I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyways, looking forward to the weekend. Getting over to Dockside for the drag show. I don't know that I've been to a drag show, like not an official drag show.
I've been to a lot of shows that were real drag.
Yeah, but at least it'll be kind of fun. Oh, you know what else is fun? I came up with I didn't come up with anything. I heard it on a show. Am I going to drop it tonight? Is it time? No, there'll be a right time and place for it. It's not the right time and place. I mean, it's really close, but it's just not quite right. You agree with me? You agree with me, Mr. Grant?
I have no idea what you're talking about, man. Okay, cool. What was he saying?
I don't even know.
I know exactly what you're talking about. EA.
Okay.
Right.
That explains it all. EA
Now I don't know what you're
explains
talking
all.
No, of course you don't.
I forgot what I was talking about. You
The
just
second word is art.
maybe, yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's it, yeah. But let's not go there.
Oh, I didn't.
I need to bury it. It's got to come out at the right time.
Absolutely, yes.
That's the way humor works. Real humor, not when I'm stealing it from somebody else. It needs to digest for a little bit first. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. It's been another great Wednesday. I don't know what time it is. It feels like it's late. No, 9:14. That's about right. Next week is All Request Week, so get your requests in, and we'll play whatever you want and say your name before we play it, because that's always fun. And don't forget to come out to Reggae on the River with DJ David Lawrence. No, what do you go by? What's your DJ name?
Mova Sound System.
Mobus?
Mova.
Muva. Oh, your hat. Oh, that makes sense. I didn't realize that was your company. Muva Sound System. Oh, that's very cool. So Muva Sound System will be playing some reggae down on the river in Campbellford. Are they giving you the gazebo?
Yes.
Oh, you've got the gazebo.
I've got the deluxe.
Yeah. Oh, that's you got the overlooking the Toonie.
Yeah.
Ah, man, you're going to be a piece of history after this weekend. Spirit Leaf and Muva Sound System. You're going to have a great day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in on another night. We're going to play one more song, and then going to leave you with the Drunk, Stoned, and Broke video again. If you haven't seen it, this is another chance to. Please help to share it with your friends. I've also been becoming more aware that, the Spotify thing is kind of a platform that has to work regardless of the pay stream being bad. It's a good way to get music to people. So, yeah, if you're a Spotify listener, please add Drunk, Stone, and Broke to your collection, and if you enjoy it, of course, and listen to it. I mean, I'm not saying just do it because, maybe you like Mr. Grant, but you hate that song.
That's a pretty good reason.
In favor or against?
Thanks again for being out there, ladies and gentlemen. I've been watching the Cure tour. Backstage Rider on Twitter has been posting a bunch of Cure stuff, and Robert Smith is being so gracious on this tour. At the end of I've seen several end of night video footage of him kind of walking around the stage, just kind of crying and thanking people, and like for so many years of just a brilliant thing. And it's amazing to see that sort of gratitude from somebody as large as the Cure. I think it's always important, no matter how big or small the audience is, to acknowledge how grateful we are that y'all tune in on a Wednesday night. We're going to end you with a song now from a band that claimed to be a rock and roll band, and indeed they were. Thanks again for tuning in. Mr. Grant, did you have a good week?
Yeah, I had a great week.
Yeah?
Sure.
I saw you at the grocery store.
Yeah, I made it out.
You made it out.
Right,
You had a grocery cart with a sweet potato in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm addicted to the sweet potatoes now.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, they're good food, man.
Yams every day.
Oh, yams every day, eh? Wow, nicely done, nicely done. Neil,
Hello.
how are you? How's your
Fine,
week
thank
been?
I had a little excitement on Friday. Well, as
What
you
happened
know,
on Friday?
Clara and Oliver came up and spent the night, and
They did?
You were gracious enough to invite them here for supper. And
Yes.
while we were swimming in your pool, we got a call from my neighbor telling me that a tree about 35 feet from my house was whacked by lightning.
I know. And your
So-
house burned down.
Yeah, it did. It was just a hell of a mess. It was just terrible, but it's okay. Only took me 3 days, and I rebuilt it because it is quite small.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. It's a little bit smaller than the studio here, I believe.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's about.
No, but in all honesty, it
35
did sort of
square
run up the shoreline, right, and blew out some people's TVs.
Yeah.
It blew out your internet
I
thing.
got off fairly lightly. It blew out the receiver and the router from my Wi-Fi internet kind of
How
thing.
long was that out for?
I had it back in 2 days.
2 days without porn.
Yeah, so I know that was the difficult part. for
That's a
sure.
tough one.
Yeah, for sure. I'm telling you,
It's a
it was.
tough one.
But
Barry.
I'll tell you, when I got it back on Sunday, boy, oh boy. But the fascinating part was my neighbors had a clothesline attached to this tree.
Yeah.
And the clothesline is gone. It just totally disintegrated it. Just
Like when you
it's-
started watching porn the next day, you were watching so
that's-
ferociously that it
that's-
disintegrated
that's-
their.
That's exactly right.
Oh,
yes.
when the lightning
No, the
struck.
lightning, not the yes.
I
Quite.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Barry, things good over across the street, my friend.
Oh, yeah, things are fine, man.
Excellent. How's the
season.
any crazy things coming out of your garden?
Not quite yet.
Okay. Joyce has been bringing a few things over. Joyce brought me these shoes. Here, can you guys see these? Check these things out. Like leather handmade shoes. I think they're actually, there's a spot down there for the taps. They're like tap shoes or something. But she got those over at Mary's, what's it called? Mary's Closet? By St. Mary's Church. She paid $4 for them. But she told me I could have them as a gift because she didn't have anybody else who they fit. But they're lovely. They're my new favorite shoes. I think they're now my Whiskey Wednesday shoes.
Oh,
I'll
good.
wear them when I'm here.
And when you don't use them, I could use them as snowshoes. In the winter
You
time.
certainly can borrow them in the winter, Neil.
And David, how was your week?
Fantastic.
Good. Glad to
The fish are biting, so.
The fish are biting. Now, Dave, you've been doing a ton of fishing. Who's that lure company that you're talking about here locally?
Oh, Blind Rage.
Blind Rage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said you've been using their lure and you're like catching a ton of crap with them?
All kinds of different patterns of it, and
Yeah.
they can't let it leave it alone, man.
That's
So,
fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're fishing up here,
Yeah.
and you got an Instagram channel going, or you're going to start an
We're
Instagram
starting
channel on
one.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
gonna probably do a YouTube fishing thing too.
Cool.
So collect footage this summer, and we'll see what happens for you in the spring.
Excellent. Well, I've enjoyed all the little videos you've been showing me of your fishing expeditions.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good spot to live if you like fishing, I must say.
There's none.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
There's
yeah.
no fish up here.
Not around here. I drive
not come
an
up
hour and a
here if
half
you
to go
like
fishing.
fishing.
Yeah.
Well, if you like to gamble, I tell you I'm your man. You win some, you lose some, it's all the same to me. The pleasure is to play, it makes no difference what you say. But I don't share your greed, the only card I need is the ace of spades, the ace of spades. Going for the high one, dancing with the devil, going with the flow, it's all a game to me. 7 or 11, the snake eyes watching you. Double up or quit, double stakes or spit. The ace of spades, the ace of spades. You know I'm born to lose, and gambling's for fools. But that's the way I like it, baby. I don't wanna live forever. And don't forget the joker. Pushing up the ante, you know you're gonna see me. Read 'em and weep, the dead man's hand again. I see it in your eyes, take one look and I am. The only thing you need, the only thing you'll see is the ace of spades, the ace of spades.
There you go, boys. Nice. David, it's so nice to have you with us as I throw my pick across the room. So nice to have you with us, man. Thank you for taking the time to sit with us and learn our tunes and get with our groove and stuff. It's very cool, and we look forward to seeing you DJ on Saturday. It'll be fun. We'll smoke some... Oh, no, you're not allowed to smoke joints there because it's not a... It's a pot party, but it's on city property, so I'm not sure how that works. I was thinking that the other night. I was walking down Bloor Street in Toronto, and I sort of lit a joint, and I was walking down. I thought, am I allowed to do this now? I still don't know.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not? You're allowed to smoke
Because
and walk
that's
down
the
Bloor
law.
Street.
Oh, maybe you are. I don't
Well,
think
see,
so.
that's the thing. I don't know either.
Yeah.
It's nice not to know sometimes, eh, Neil?
Well, you know, unfortunately, ignorance is not regarded as a valid
But
defense.
not knowing in this situation allows me to be. If that makes
Yeah, well,
sense.
okay, whatever.
I love you all very much. Thanks to the band and Allison, who worked so hard, all of you, to make it so that we can come here and play Wednesday night music for you. And also, we can take music out on the road from time to time. We're having a lot of fun doing that when we get a chance to. And now that we've got somebody sort of keeping the beat for us, it's going to be a little bit easier to make those trips happen. We are looking forward to the night, the Sound of Rest night with Steve Dagg. That is on the 17th. That is Saturday after next.
Okay.
Is it 17th? I think so.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll have some more information on it, but it's a free show. It's at the Legion. It's it holds a couple hundred people in there, so it'll be jammed, but there will be room for whoever wants to come out. It's going to be one of those shows that starts at 7:30 and goes right to 11:15. There's going to be music all night. There's so many bands and music acts right now. I got an Excel spreadsheet going trying to plan this night out, so it's going to be amazing. Anyways, and again, Barry's got some new monitor work set up here for us. Barry, thank you for putting the time in to help out this week, getting some extra stuff going. Really appreciate it. Okay, well, we love you. We'll see you next week, and remember, be like Steve.
It's okay, you're muted.
Drunk, stoned, and broke, and I don't know if I'll see the sun tomorrow. And if I come down from this place, I hope that I might never see your face again. Push back another round to drown away my sorrow. You know I'll hate myself tomorrow. good God, I need it tonight. Have another toke and slip quietly to understanding nothing. Your words like poison smoke, and I'd rather see you floating in the air. Push back another round to drown away my sorrow. You know I'll hate myself tomorrow. But good God, I need it tonight. Good God, I need it tonight. Drunk, stoned, and broke, and I don't know if I'll see the sun tomorrow. And if I come down from this place, I hope that I might never see your face again. Push back another round to drown away your sorrow. You know I'll hate myself tomorrow. But good God, I need it tonight. Good God, I need it tonight. Good God, I need it tonight. Good God, I need it.
Once again, thanks for spending another Wednesday with us here at Storyhouse Studios. Thanks to Trainer, Yorkville, and a Longtooth Beverage Company for being a part of the show. We love our time on the Whiskey Wednesday show and appreciate all of your support. Don't forget to hit up the tip jar if you feel so inclined. Never expected, but always appreciated. Tune in every week for more guests, songs, stories, drinks, and gear talk. And don't forget to visit the website, www.kentizzard.com, to sign up for the Whiskey Wednesday wrap-up. Compiled by Allison, this is a monthly overview with highlights, directories of songs, and so much more. Be kind, be helpful, be happy, be safe. See you next week.